I finally did it, guys. After all these years of making recommendations to all of you out there, I finally took my own advice. Now, I don't own an EV, but it was time for me to upgrade my electrical to 240 volts because I need a level 2 charger. I've been going years now reviewing EVs, and I'm to the point now where I probably get more EVs. Well, not more, but just about as many EVs for review as I do gas-powered vehicles. And so it was time to get one of these installed in my garage. You know, level 1 works fine. It's functional, but it's not optimal. And so with all the EVs that I get, it was time.
I'll take a moment to walk you through the process. I called my electrician, they took some measurements, cut some holes, ran some lines, and about 2.5 hours later, I had a 240 volt outlet. Obviously, the job was way more involved than that since we're dealing with high voltage electricity, so unless you're a trained professional, please hire the right people for the job. In total, the wiring upgrade cost me about $850, and other than having to repair the drywall, which we'll have done when we get our house painted in a couple of months, my part was pretty seamless, and so far has been worth it.
The charger I'm using was provided by Lectron, so I want to thank them for that. And it's their portable level 1 and 2 Tesla NACS EV charger. And so other than running level 2 into my garage or running 240 into my garage, the type of charger was probably the biggest decision that I had to make. The reason being that most EVs used to run J1772 ports, which is what you plug the charger into. All of them except for Tesla. Well, now they're all converting over to NACS, which is what Tesla uses. NACS stands for North American Charging Standard. And so even this EV6 that I have behind me, when it first came out, the first time I reviewed it, it used J1772. Well, now this exact car uses a NACS port. So keeping that in mind, I was like, all right, most of the vehicles that I get are probably going to run the Tesla, at least from here on out, are probably going to run the NACS charging port. And if and when I eventually get an EV, it will probably have an NACS charging port in it. And so that's why I went with this particular charger as opposed to the J1772 standard. And I also kept in mind that if I do need the other port, then I can just use an adapter, which Lectron sent for me to use as well.
In addition to J1772 or NACS portable options, Lectron also offers hardwired chargers if you're interested in those. Now, when the charger arrived, the product box came in a nondescript brown outer box, and then the charger itself has a travel bag where you can store everything when not in use. In addition to the charger, you also get a mounting plate for the wall and some documentation. As it states in the name, this is both a level 1 and level 2 charger. So if you have an EV that doesn't come with a portable charger and you don't have a 240 volt outlet nearby, you can use the 120 volt cable and plug it into a 120 outlet. But if you do have 240, you can use this plug and get all the benefits of faster charging. And because it's portable, you can take it with you to grandma's house and use whatever outlet she has available. Also, the charging cable is 20 feet, giving you plenty of length to reach your charging port no matter the direction you park your vehicle. The charger has an in-cable control and protection device weatherproof rating of Type 4, meaning it's suitable for outdoor use and is protected from solids, ice, and water as long as it's not submerged. The charger connector is a rating of Type 3R, meaning it's slightly less robust, yet still has protection against the elements in ice, but not direct water pressure like a hose, and operating temperatures range from -22 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. The unit has a charging capacity of either 1.44 kilowatts or 9.6 kilowatts, again, depending upon what type of outlet you plugged it into, and you can select what amperage you like to charge. 8 amps is the lowest for, say, if your house is older and you don't want to put too much strain on your circuits, or you can max it out to 40 amps like I do, since I know I have a newer 60 amp breaker in my box. While the amperage indicator lights aren't labeled on the charger, it's easy enough to know that farthest left is 8 amps and farthest right is 40 amps. And since my charger is plugged into a 240 outlet, it will not allow me to go any lower than 16 amps. Coincidentally, if you're using a 120 volt outlet, you can't choose a current higher than 12 amps. Finally, below that is your charging status indicator.
Because I now have 240 volts, I can charge at the maximum settings, allowing me to get a full charge or a complete charge overnight. Whereas I actually had times where with level 1, I drive the car for 1 day and then charge it for 2. So final thoughts. As I always say, if you're going to own an EV, get a level 2 charger installed at your house. Just makes life easier. You can install it inside the garage. You can even install them outside. Most of them, at least the good ones, are weatherproof, and they'll even work in weather like this. This Lectron one, it works. And frankly, it works well. I've been pleased with it. And outside of getting the 240 volt outlet installed, the hardest part was just choosing what kind of port, what kind of charger I wanted to get. If you own a car already, a EV that uses J1772, then your choice is easy. Get the J1772. But if you're on the fence, like I was, you're not sure exactly what you might need in the future, then go ahead and get the NACS port, which is what I would recommend and what I did. And then you can always use an adapter if need be to cover your bases if you find that you're somewhere else where you need to charge at one of the other charging stations that's not Tesla. So with that being said, I do have some links in the description that you can use to make your purchase. Check those out. Also, as always, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you enjoy this type of content and want to see more, go ahead and subscribe and then hit that bell notification so that you don't miss what we have coming up next, because we do car reviews, we do new product launches, as well as cover accessories like this Lectron EV charger. That being said, I'm Chris from AutoAcademics. Thanks for watching.